Hello and welcome to Home Park. It's been a busy couple of weeks for Plymouth Argyle, but no doubt they'll be very happy to be back home this afternoon.
Onto his right foot, Ryan Hardy, he finishes!
Hello, you are watching Argyle TV. I'm Erin Black and we are back here at Home Park this afternoon, ready for Argyle's game against Charlton Athletic. It's been a pretty busy couple of weeks at Argyle, safe to say. Lots of changes and some that we're going to be going into in a little bit more detail at the minute. I'm sure you can see in the atmosphere around me. Nice sunny day down here in Plymouth today. A little bit windy, not as cold as it has been, thankfully, but we have got the hand warmers ready just in case. Crowd starting to fill into the stadium a little bit earlier this afternoon because, of course, we have got extra COVID restrictions in place, and very nicely got the kids just over my shoulder there waiting for their autographs. Pilgrim Pete lingering around, probably not who they're after in terms of autographs, but one man that they might be is Steven Schumacher, who has taken charge of the Greens for the first time here while Charlton Athletic are the visitors. So coming up, we're going to hear from the man himself and see how he's been settling in to life as the number one. Ryan Hardy is also going to be lifting the lid on what the change of manager has been like for the players, and he talks about how good it feels to have Niall Ennis back amongst the squad. And at half-time today, we're going to get to know some members of the Argyle women's squad a little bit better and reflect on their FA Cup success over Clapton. So all of that to come very, very soon, plus the team news, and we'll be building up for this afternoon's game. And joining me to talk through it all this afternoon is the one and only Ryan Dixon. How are you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the game. Been a lot of hard teams, big games. So, yeah, it's obviously another one. And yeah, just looking forward to being involved, really.
Yeah, and what a week it's, well, a couple of weeks it's been now, really, hasn't it? But I mean, how have you found seeing everything develop over the past few days?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, I guess, for the football club. Unexpected departure, I guess. But one which, to be honest, I don't think it should affect the club too much in terms of obviously Shuey stepping in, new gaffer, same philosophy I would have thought.
Yeah.
And same environment and same really structure within the football club.
Have you ever seen anything like it before with a change of manager in a week where there's 3 away games coming up?
Yeah, timing wise it isn't ideal, I guess. Like I said, it's been a lot of big games. Argyle haven't been fortunate, I guess, with the fixtures within this period. So yeah, it's not been ideal. They've had 5 big clubs to play, and it could have been better timing, but that's football, and it's something that football club has to get on with. And luckily, they've got a man who can step in, and things don't change too much.
Yeah, and I'm sure now that we're back at Home Park, the fans will be keen to see Shuey, as he is known affectionately around here, kind of lead the first match here at Home Park. And remember, you can get in touch with us today as well, so we would love to hear from you too. Drop me a message on Twitter. You want to be searching for @only1Argyle, and that is where I will find your tweets, your predictions, and your feelings ahead of kickoff. And like always, we have a little look at them at half time. Now, let's get on to one of the big matters in hand. 2 weeks ago, Steven Schumacher was preparing for an FA Cup game against Rochdale as Ryan Lowe's assistant. And then 3 days later, he was preparing for a league game with the MK Dons as the manager. It's been a whirlwind 2 weeks, as Ryan said, for the new Argyle boss. But how has he found it?
Gaffer in the new office. A week into the job. Does it feel like longer than that?
It's gone by, I'd say quickly, but a lot's happened in that week. It's been it's been a bit manic, but settled down since the weekend. Had a bit of time to take a breather on Sunday, and looking forward to the new week.
I know it feels like we've packed in almost a season into a week, doesn't it? I can't even imagine what it would have been like for you. Just on reflection of what's happened in this past week, and I suppose you probably didn't have time to think about it, but you being Argyle manager, what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
Well, as I said last week, it's an unbelievable honour and a privilege to be asked, and then now to be in this position, which somebody said to me in the press last week at MK Dons, it's the best job in Plymouth. I could possibly say I feel, right now feels like I can agree with that. I know how important it is to the people down here that they have an Argyle team that they can be proud of, and I'm loving it.
Take us back to that Wednesday night. So literally 24 hours really after kind of knowing you're in the job, you've got to play a game against a side that are flying high at the top of the table. What was it like for you, the whole sort of day? Talk us through that first match day.
Yeah, I was nervous, probably more nervous than what I would be usually, because obviously I'm the one who's standing up there at the front now. But the task was still the same. I still knew that MK Dons were going to pose us loads of problems and a threat because of the quality that they've got. I'd said to the lads a few weeks before, when I watched other teams who've played MK Dons, they're the best I've seen. And I always think, how would we play against them? And I knew that they can cause any team problems with the amount of possession that they have and the chances that they create. So no surprise going into the game on Wednesday, but as I say, just probably a little bit more nervous. In what ways then was it more nervous? Is it because you had to deliver a different sort of team talk, or because you're the one being asked the questions, or what? Yeah, so maybe the team talk, maybe the last message before we always left the hotel, that was left to Ryan. That's something I hadn't done before, so it was just a new experience. The planning and the preparation went the same as what it always did. I just had to give the final message, and then obviously I'm standing there on the touchline, and whether it goes good or bad, usually that turns onto the manager, and again I hadn't done that before. So once the game got going, settled down, like fine, focused, engaged on the game, and then after the game, here we go again, something else new. Got to go and stand in front of the Sky cameras and you lot, yeah.
You probably never get used to that. In terms of like the differences between Steven Schumacher assistant manager, Steven Schumacher manager, other than the fact we now call you Gaffer, what do you see might change, will change, you might do differently, or do you not see much change?
Yeah, so straight away I'm in a different room.
Yeah.
So this is the first day I've been in the office as such. It's a long day because last week we weren't really at the club because of the amount of travelling we done. So that's different. I can honestly say today it's given me time to think which when sometimes in the coaching room when there's 4 or 5 bodies and the doors opening all the time and trying to watch footage, it's hard at times because there's a lot of distraction. But today's been a little bit quieter where I can get onto it, come in really early this morning and try to plan my day and see what we were going to go through. We've had a staff meeting where I've highlighted things I would like to do that was slightly different that I feel will benefit us. So nothing too drastic changes, but little tweaks here and there that will, as I say, give us all a better chance to win some more football games.
Let's talk football then. One hole that will need filling now is your old job. Yeah. Are there plans in place for a new appointment?
Yes, there will be. Yeah, we'll be in discussions for an assistant to come in. I feel that's really important that I take my time on that though and get the right one. I've got a real good idea of who I want that to be and what sort of number 2 will help. So as I'm in discussions with that person and hopefully they decide to take up the opportunity, and if they don't then we go to the next option.
So watch this space for that one. You've mentioned it a couple of times and I think it's a message that gets mentioned a lot within the club is consistency and, like you said, just kind of the Argyle way, keeping it going and keep having Neil continue with us as well, Neil Juice. How much of a big thing for you is that? Because I know your relationship goes a long way back, doesn't it?
It does, and he's somebody who I really trust. Neil's relationship with me will probably be slightly different to what it was with Ryan, because he's only known Ryan for a few years through me, really. Although they got on really well, spent a lot of time, and Ryan will have felt the benefit of Neil's help and advice. He has been really good for any young manager, and hopefully he will continue to be help and advice to me. As far as consistency goes, I just feel it's important, as well as the club making them changes, that us as a staff are consistent with our messages and behaviours, really, because I'm going to have some ups and I'm going to have some downs, obviously, from now till the end of the season. And I think the players just need to see that I'm quite steady and quite calm throughout, whatever happens, because if their manager is up and down and all over the place and probably too emotional, that can have maybe a negative effect. So I'll try and stay consistent, the messages will try and stay the same. The way we plan for games, the way we review, the way we travel, we'll try and do what's best for the team.
Just a quick one on the players, because it's been a ridiculously busy week and they've had a huge amount of workload. How have they reacted to everything? How have they been about everything that's happened this last week?
Yeah, I think they've been top class. It's been, I say, the journeys, the three away games were hard and they were always going to be difficult anyway, no matter what. And then with the change that happened in the middle of the week, I felt that the lads were brilliant. I thanked them after the game on Saturday for their efforts and the work rate and the desire they showed. I know we came up short on Saturday not to get the result that we wanted, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. So yeah, they've been great, but also they need to continue to be great, because we've still got a half a season to go, and just because we've had a good start, that's gone now. That's in the past. The next game is the most important one, and we've got a big season ahead of us. So their attitude needs to continue to be that. Their mentality to go out and believe that they can win games. That's what I'm looking for now. From now on, that's all done. It's in the past. What's next?
Well, what is next is Charlton at home park. You've had two away games as a gaffer. Have you obviously been planning for it, but have you kind of allowed yourself to think about what it might be like walking out of the tunnel and down that touchline in front of a nearly full house?
Yeah, so we've seen that a couple of times this season already, and I think I've come out of that tunnel and seen Zach, who stands at the front, and I've spoken to Ryan at the time, the lads, and said, wow, because it's special, isn't it, when you come out and home park's full and you see the colours in the crowd and everybody is dead excited. It's an amazing feeling, so hopefully it's the same.
They've got all of their shoes off this time.
Hope it's not wet or too cold, but yeah, it's it's probably going to be a take me breath away moment, hopefully, and yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be hopefully not too emotional.
11 days in charge, 2 games and a whole lot of media requests and interviews for Steven Schumacher. I'm just going to pause before we talk to Ryan about Shuey to address the elephant in the room, which is the hat that has miraculously appeared on my head in the past 9 minutes. Got to give a shout out to this guy over here who has very kindly lent me his hat. Give us a wave. There he is. Thank you very much. So I can now be in the Argyle festive spirit. Now back to proper proceedings. Ryan, how do you think Steven Schumacher is going to be feeling right now?
Probably a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie. Big day for him, but one that I'm sure he's thoroughly looking forward to and is going to enjoy. Like I think he's touched on, it's a big honour really to manage Plymouth Argyle, and you know, as a young manager, you know, he's done his time, he's worked his way up through being a coach, being the assistant, and now being a manager. And fair play to him, because I think it's a role that really suits him.
Yeah, and what kind of manager do you think he'll be? I mean, we've seen him quite prominently on the sidelines as the assistant manager, but how do you think now he's kind of stepping into his own?
I think, first and foremost, he'd be an intelligent manager. As a player, he was not blessed with a lot of pace, but he was extremely intelligent. I think that's what, you know, that was his main attribute, and I'm not surprised he's gone into coaching and now management, because first and foremost, his football brain's very, very good. So I can't imagine it being an issue for him in terms of, you know, knowledge and what's needed to win football matches. It'll just be, you know, that experience and getting going. Like, I think his first win is sure is going to be vital, and then finding his feet and, you know, getting his, you know, teeth stuck in really into the role.
Yeah, and from a player's perspective, how important do you think it will be to have a manager that is already familiar with the team, especially with how quick the changeover happened?
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, they're doing really well, the team. If anybody at Plymouth would have said, look, you're going to be near the top of the league come this time of the year, you know, they would have snapped their hands off. So to make bring someone in unknown would have been a bit rash and a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, Shuey's been a big part of what's happened within the football club, the infrastructure. Neil's still here, everybody's still here. So it makes sense, especially the type of character he is. And personality, and like I touched on just a minute ago, his footballing brain, I think was certainly the right thing to do.
Yeah, and the answer seems pretty obvious, but how keen do you think he'll be to get his first win, particularly with us being at home today?
Yeah, as a new manager, you know, it's vital you get your first win as soon as possible. Like I said, it's been a tough run of results, but games that they've played, fixture list hasn't been kind. But yeah, I mean, it's a game certainly they can win today, and you know, looking forward, don't win this one, they win the next one. But I think Plymouth are in a good place no matter what, really.
And from what you've seen of him so far, how do you think he's going to fare today? I mean, we've already had Argyle play Charlton, so how do you think he'll be now that he's kind of taking over himself?
Yeah, I can't remember whether there was a change in manager when they played them up there, whether Johnny Jackson was manager, but they've had a change of manager. Same as Plymouth, assistant manager taking over. Yeah. Both young, you know, forward-thinking, if you like, coaches. Both very good players in the middle of the park. So he's going to know a lot about Charlton. But saying that, games change, you know, situations change, personnel change, tactics change, you know, by the week. So, you know, he would have done his homework for sure, but he's got to expect the unexpected, and I think more so concentrate on what Plymouth are good at.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting, seeing as both managers are then in similar positions. And what have you made of the outpouring of the support from the fans? I think a lot of us have seen on social media this new trend of everyone taking a shoe off in the stands. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, I loved it. Watched the game at MK, and it just shows that, you know, if you're loyal to Plymouth Argyle and the fans here, they'll be loyal to you. It's a great football club, and it's a good place to be. And to be fair, the place at the moment is absolutely thriving. The Matchday atmosphere is quality, and it's really started to get crowds come in again, to be honest, and, you know, probably fill its potential, which it hasn't been doing for the last few years, really. Although it's been successful, it hasn't quite filled the potential it should, really.
Yeah.
So the environment's positive. The team obviously doing extremely well, which helps. So yeah, you know, hopefully that can continue.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds positive already. You probably can't hear if you're watching at home, but players just receiving a round of applause in the corner of the pitch there. So let's actually have a look at what the starting lineup is for Steven's first team selection here at Home Park. And here they are. We have, of course, in goal, Michael Cooper. Getting a bit windy, I can't see my sheet. Here we go. Macaulay Gillespie, Jordan Houghton, James Wilson, Dan Scarr, Joe Edwards, Ryan Hardy, Danny Mayer, Jordan Garrick, Kieran Agard and Panucci Kamara. This is a slightly different lineup than ones we've been used to seeing. We've got Jeffcott on the bench and Broom as well, Niall Ennis on the bench, who has been playing recently in games. So it's a slightly more noticeable difference than previous games with Ryan Lowe in charge.
Yeah, I think obviously Agard's come in. I don't know whether it's his first league start. I think it is. But proven record, good player, scored loads of goals at this level. I think he's been biding his time, getting his match fitness up, and it's a big day really for him to prove that he can still produce the goods and take his chance. Yeah.
Do you think it's important that Schumacher is kind of making these slightly more noticeable changes to differentiate himself from maybe having an almost identical style to Ryan?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. I think they hit the period, to be honest. Like I said, they had a hard run in fixtures and weren't quite scoring goals. That little bit of, maybe quality or that impetus in front of goals changed a little bit. So maybe he's just trying to freshen it up. He's got the quality on the bench, and at some point he has to give everyone a chance. I think whether Ryan was the manager or Shuey, I think that was coming, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and one of the names that's missing from both parts of the team sheet, Conor Grant, who was injured, I believe, in the last game. So hopefully he won't be missed too much, but it's nice to see a mix of names out there. Do you think the whole team that they've got lined up today is going to work quite nicely together?
Yeah, I think Garrick obviously will come in and fill his position. Different type of player, obviously extremely athletic, but Connor's going to be a big miss. There's no doubt about that. I'm a big fan of him. I think anyone, technical ability and a good footballing brain's valuable to their football club. And I think he's shown his value really since he's been here.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ryan. And let's think about how it's been an emotional week for many. My hat is literally about to fly off my head, so let's get through this next bit. It's been an emotional week for many at Home Park. For the players, they have to just come and get on with the job and play the games as they come.
Ryan's been a busy week and a bit, I suppose. What's it been like from your point of view and the players' point of view?
Yeah, it's just been obviously a bit of change with the new gaffer coming in. But as I said before, it's somebody that we know. It's somebody that knows the style of play that we want. I don't think he'll change too much. And I would say it's been a pretty positive start. It's not in terms of results. MK was a good result to get a point away, and I think we've shown more in the second half against Sunderland what we were about. We felt we should have got something from the game, but as I said, now it's just about looking forward and hopefully getting some points this weekend.
Yeah, how positive is it that it is someone you know? That it is someone that's kind of been around, because you've got often seen massive upheaval, don't you, when the manager changes?
Yeah, that's it. It's somebody that, as I said, it feels more comfortable coming into training. Not much things will change. We'll obviously be wanting to put his style of play on it, and certain things that he wants to change. But it could have been a big uproar if a new manager came in. But as I said, it's somebody that knows the club, somebody that knows the players, and somebody that knows what we're trying to do here.
You mentioned that the run of results. The draw against MK was very positive. Second half against Sunderland was positive. The run that we've been on, we've been in the games in a weird way, hasn't it? It just hasn't quite fallen for us. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we're getting battered as such in any game. We've always been in them, and as I said, it's been one bad week, or a week and a half, should I say. So now it's just about turning the ship and getting us back on a winning run and hopefully pushing back up the table again.
It is one of those things that you talk about confidence in football, and when we were on that 16-game unbeaten run, it kind of felt like we were never going to lose. Do you get that the flip side, or are you always kind of, as a group, positive that the next one will be the win?
No, when we went on that run, we know the things that we've done right, so it's just about getting back to the things that we've done, using the crowd to our advantage when we're at home, like we have been doing, and just getting back on a streak. I say, once you're on the streak, as you said, it's a lot easier to keep winning, because you just go into the games thinking we're going to win here. So as I said, it's only one bad week and we're certainly not worried, so it's just about getting into the game next weekend and going again.
Charlton ended our run, so maybe we can start a new one against Charlton here.
Yeah, that would be the thing to do, I suppose. Obviously we were going into the game fully wanting to take 3 points, and as I said, just get something going again and giving the fans something to be happy about.
How strange is it playing aside, because I think it was only like 4 weeks ago we played Charlton. Like, it's very unusual for that to happen. Is it something that kind of is a good thing? You kind of, it's fresh in your mind. You know what they're about.
Yeah, well, we could take it as a positive. As you said, we played Charlton 4 weeks ago. I think it was similar when we played Sheff Wednesday. Obviously, that was a cup game, it was different, but you go into the game knowing your opponents, knowing who you're playing against, knowing their strengths, knowing their weaknesses. So I think we'll obviously analyse the game after Charlton, and we'll go into more detail this week on how to beat them and how to conquer their strengths and how to get at their weaknesses. So no, I think it is a positive that it was a short time ago, and the quick turnaround will mean that we can get straight into the game.
Just kind of finally, how good is it to have Niall back amongst the group of strikers?
Yeah, it's good. As you said, we've missed him this season. He obviously started off pre-season really well. So no, it's good having him back in amongst us, and hopefully he can challenge everybody for the starting spot that everybody wants.
He must be absolutely chomping to get that first goal, to get more minutes, mustn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's had a good few minutes already. He's came back into the squad, and I think he came on his first game against Rochdale, and then he was on against MK, and he played a big part in the game against Sunderland when he came on as well. So hopefully he can get his goal and then kick on again like he did at the start of the season.
And how big will it be having Niall Ennis back in the squad, Ryan?
Yeah, huge. I think when he first signed, he hit the ground running. Fans took to him really well, and he done really well for the football club. Obviously, he's been hit by, quite a serious injury by the looks of it. He's been out for a while, and it's going to take his time to get up to speed, especially because the team's doing so well. But if he can, and when he can, really, and get back into that team, it'd definitely be a big asset for the football club again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice for the football club, but I also imagine it'll be quite nice for him as well. Signed back in January, we haven't really seen anything of him until very recently, so I imagine he'll be looking forward to getting as many games as he can.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it can be tough for people moving down here. And when they're playing, brilliant. When they're not, it can be hard. They're away from their family, away from their friends, away from their normal lifestyle, if you like. But that's football. They have to get on with it. It's that mindset you need, I guess. And it'd be looking, like you said, it'd just be that joy, really, and of what he's been used to of playing football and getting back into that team and enjoying his career again, really.
Yeah. Goals from the strikers in particular have dried up a little bit over the past couple of games. Do you think today is the day where we could see them get back scoring again?
Yeah, maybe that's why. I think the gaffer's made a bit of a change up front. It's a tough task, especially the way Plymouth want to play. It is high press, high energy, and it does take a lot out of the attackers. I think that's why the club has got 4 good attacking players.
Yeah.
So he needs to utilise all of them, and I think it's a perfect time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, when Ryan Lowe was taking charge towards the beginning of the season, there was a lot of focus on defence, whereas now maybe we're seeing a little bit more of a drive towards the attacking nature of Argyle.
I think that come from last season. Obviously, defensively, we were young and a little bit weak, if you like, in that position. Whereas this year, he strengthened that massively. Galloway, huge miss, I must say. Really, really impressed with him. Really like him as a player, and was a good signing for the football club. But now, obviously, like you said, that they've sorted that out, and now it's, funnily enough, tables are turned a little bit, but they've had a hard run of games. These top teams aren't going to let you score goals. It's simple as that. You have to earn them. So, they have to share the goals, can't rely on Hardy all the time. So, hopefully Agard can come in and provide some goals.
Yeah, and do you think the players will be looking forward to coming back in, playing in front of a home crowd, particularly over the fact that we've had away games and a draw and a loss over the past couple of years? Who's there?
Yeah.
There he goes. This is what happens when you do live TV. You get an ex-player that comes shouts at Ryan. Yeah, how do you think the players will be feeling?
Yeah, I think especially around Christmas, good atmosphere.
Well, yeah, we mustn't forget the Christmas factor.
Yeah, it's going to be a good atmosphere here. And first and foremost, 3 hard games, like you said, on the road. It's not easy, especially the travelling Plymouth have to do. Really, really hard. People forget that. And fair play to the fans, they do it just like the players do. But the players will be delighted to get back here, same as the gaffer as well, with his first home game, and really put on a performance.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's have a little look for you at home at the Sky Bet League One table. And Ryan, Argyle, without a win, 5 league games in a row, but they're still in the playoff places. That's no mean feat in itself, really. No,
it's going to happen. I mean, they got off to a flyer. It's a tough league with teams with a lot higher budget than us, that's for sure. But our infrastructure's good here. We recruited extremely well. and we've found ourselves in a very good position. At the end of the day, yeah, I mean the last 5 results haven't gone great, but we have played the good teams. And at some point you are going to hit that adversity, if you like, where you do have a dip in form or results don't quite go your way. But I wouldn't quite say the performances have been bad. That's the thing. It's just those fine margins of football and the fine margins at this stage of the season where Christmas time is tough, games come thick and fast.
And as you mentioned as well, you've got to look at the kind of teams that Argyle have been up against. I mean, they've got 36 points. They're at the halfway stage. That's still a pretty good position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah. Said at the start of the season, if someone said Plymouth were going to be in this position at this time of the season, you'd snap their hands off.
Yeah.
The club's in a good place. The team's in a good place. The squad's looking really, really strong. It's just now just sticking to the process, and things will start picking up again. It's just you ain't going to win all your games. It's as simple as that. And unfortunately, they've had a period of time, if you like, where they've played hard teams, and maybe I wouldn't say performances have even dropped. It's just sometimes results don't go your way. That's football.
Yeah. And I remember speaking to Rob McNichol, who does the commentary, a couple of weeks ago when Argyle were on their kind of winning streak, and he was saying it's not even necessarily about that, because when you look at the points compared to last season and where they're ranking and stuff, if they carried on that general trajectory, then Argyle, could still see themselves right towards the top come the end of the season.
Exactly that. I think you just got to take it for face value. It is what it is. They lost a few games. That's football. At the end of the day, they're in a good position, a healthy position. And like I said, if performances were bad, you start worrying. Performances haven't been bad. So I think you just got to take it as at some point, it is a results business. You're going to have to start winning again.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I suppose it's important in the sense that it's nice to see. It makes us all leave the ground in a very good mood when we do win. But, it's not the end of the world, although we would like to keep seeing Argyle go up and up.
Yeah, fans, they like to see winning. There's no doubt about that. But what the fans have certainly seen since, the changeover of the football club the last few years is a good style of football. Positive football, it's enjoyable. The atmosphere and general experience of watching Argyle is fun. Playing football at times, you don't quite enjoy watching football as much as what I should, but coming to watch Argyle, it's been just an absolute pleasure. And I think the fans are starting to see that as well. I think you can take that for granted. And results, need to come at some stage, but at the same time, winning's winning, but performances are performances.
Exactly, you're absolutely right. You are watching Argyle TV, and we are building up to this afternoon's game against Charlton Athletic. Hello, welcome back. You are watching Argyle TV, and we are building up to kickoff against Charlton Athletic this afternoon, the first home game for new manager Steven Schumacher. Now, there is a lot on offer for Argyle TV subscribers. You can watch full match replays, extended highlights, and features like this.
Probably Jeps. Nothing major that's going to set anyone off, but just like little things. Every little thing is a problem, but a light-hearted problem, not a proper problem. Yeah. Sure, Broomy's pretty competitive, Yeah, Broomy's pretty. Yeah, I'll go Broomy. Yeah. Joe Edwards. Yeah, of everyone in the dressing room, I think. Yeah, Joe.
Macaulay's always up to something though. He's always up to something annoying, so I'd say Macaulay, yeah.
And away games, you room with Dan Scar?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
What's he like to roommate with?
He's great, yeah. Really good. One of the best I've had. Quiet. Lets me put my fan app on. So, yeah, he's one of the best I've had, yeah. I can't sleep without a noise, no. A constant noise. So it was, it's, at home it's a fan, I've got a fan. But when I'm away and I've got a fan, I've got an app on my phone. I just put a noise on. Luckily, he doesn't find it too annoying, so.
Fan news when he sleeps. Are there any little quirks that your roommates had back when you were playing, Ryan?
To be honest, not too many I can really say on camera, but
yeah, be careful.
there was one guy, experienced player, just proper dedicated to his mindset and what he believed really, and had a good career anyway. I won't name his name, but he used to take a toaster to bed with him. So obviously you got breakfast and pre-match meals, so teams, you go down for your breakfast together and your pre-match together.
Wow.
He would just stay in his room, have a toaster, bread, and that was it. Which I found
wow.
really strange.
I need to find out more about that when the microphones are on. You can see the full version of that episode, plus lots more on Argyle TV. It's just £4.50 a month if you want to sign up. Now, one of the other things that we're going to be talking about, which you're quite keen to mention as well, is the academy players, Freddie Isaka and Harry McGlinchey. They've both received England call-ups. Freddie is Argyle's youngest ever player, and he is part of the under-16 side that play 2 games with Turkey next week, while Harry, the son of Brian McGlinchey, who many of you may know, is part of the under-15 training camp up at St George's Park. So a big congratulations to both of them. Striking with the academy, they won 2-0 against Bristol Rovers in Saltash yesterday, and it means they are now 3rd in the EFL Youth Alliance League. Ryan, what do you make of those two names we've just mentioned?
Yeah, Coach Harry, that's my age group. When I first come in, you could kind of see that his mentality and his personality were what's needed really. He's a big character, and credit to Brian really for raising him in the right way, because he's a lovely lad, works his absolute socks off, and he's got perfect attributes for a footballer. But yeah, I mean, the academy can obviously take a lot of credit for where he's at the moment, but first and foremost I think his parents have to, because great kid. And in terms of Freddie, exactly the same. He's come on leaps and bounds, especially the last couple of years. Again, a lad with a lot of talent, and fingers crossed it's early in their career, but they can have a lot of success.
Great, thank you, Ryan. Tickets for the Boxing Day trip to Cheltenham Town, they're still on sale. There aren't many left, and it is a all-ticket event, so no pay on the day. Make sure you go to argyletickets.com to make sure you're at the game. You are watching Argyle TV, and after this, we will be discussing Charlton Athletic. We are now 20 minutes away from kickoff here at Home Park. Ryan is still with me, and we're going to be turning our attention to the Charlton squad in the next few minutes. Just 4 weeks ago, the 2-0 win at the Valley brought an end to Argyle's 16-match unbeaten run, and since then Charlton have been in great form, winning 2 and drawing 1 of their last 4 matches. Yesterday, Johnny Jackson was given the full-time job as manager, so they've travelled to Devon with a lot of confidence. Before we get stuck into having a look at their team, though, let's have a look at their 2-0 win over Cambridge last weekend. Connor Washington with both of their goals there. So while we put the team news up on the screen for you now, me and Ryan will have a little bit of chat about their form. 9 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats in the 13 games under Johnny Jackson. So no real surprises he's been given the job full time, is there?
No, they've clearly picked up, and rightly so. A club of that size should be doing well, and credit to him. They've obviously on now good form. So yeah, it's going to obviously be a tough game. I think it's no surprise to Plymouth at all.
And there's a familiar name in there with Ben Purrington on their side. He scored in the reverse fixture. What are his qualities?
Well, today it looks like, by the way they've shaped up, that he's playing centre half. He's played left back the whole of his career.
Okay.
Today centre back. I don't know whether he's been playing there of late, but his qualities are he's fast, he's agile, very athletic, good left foot, and calm and composed.
And then finally, what do you think it's going to take for Argyle to stop them today?
To stop them, I think Jayden Stockley is big for them. Big threat up top, big physical lad. I think you deal with that aerial threat. Stop balls coming into the box. I think you deal with them. Alex Gill be in midfield for them as well as a box-to-box player. Gets goals, kind of your Frank Lampard, if you like, of League One.
Yeah, okay, very nice. Thank you for joining us on Argyle TV, Ryan. You can now go off, relax and warm up your hands, which you just mentioned are starting to get cold. So thanks again to Ryan Dixon for being with us this afternoon. He's going to go get up to the commentary position, and we will be joining him and Rob again at half-time. So in the meantime, let's have a look at the other fixtures taking place in the Sky Bet League One this afternoon. Quite a lot have fallen foul to COVID, with 6 games postponed. So these are the ones going ahead so far. We have got AFC Wimbledon versus Portsmouth, Bolton versus Wickham, Burton MK Dons, Gillingham Crew, Lincoln Doncaster, and Sheffield Wednesday against Accrington. Oh, they're the ones that are all off. I've read them in the wrong order. Don't look for scores on those because they won't be there. The ones you can look forward to are Cambridge versus Rotherham, Ipswich versus Sunderland, Morecambe versus Fleetwood, Oxford Wigan, and Shrewsbury Cheltenham. So those are all the games that you can expect scores from at half-time and full-time today. So just before we hand you over to Rob and Ryan for their commentary of the game, we are delighted to let you know that we have teamed up with online food order and delivery service Uber Eats for the 21-22 campaign. They're joining the club as an affiliate partner, and Uber Eats will sponsor our all-new pre-match quiz on the official Argyle app. Make sure you get it if you haven't already, as well as the brand new Moment of the Month feature on the club's social media channels and here on Argyle TV. To kick off that partnership, Argyle fans can download the app and you can receive £10 off your first order when you spend a minimum of £15. All you got to do is use the code ARGYLE10 when you're ordering. Right, there's a lot of clapping happening around the stadium, so I think we're almost ready to go. I make it 2:45. A reminder that if you are watching abroad and you have bought the match pass, you can only watch the game on Argyle TV via the website. And for you fans in the UK, audio commentary with Rob McNichol and Ryan Dixon will be available on pafc.co.uk. It's Argyle against Charlton Athletic, and that's coming up at 3 o'clock.